everyone, these are video instructions for the week 4 assignment. It's not for the week. There's a pun. All right, so this assignment, we read the Odyssey because despite its ancient origins, it is the story of humanity's persistence and triumph over adversity, despite insurmountable odds. This tale ignites our common will to survive, to succeed, to circumvent all obstacles. And this feeling that we get when we're rooting for someone who has a lot of obstacles to overcome, this feeling of shared humanity, compassion, and understanding is called empathy. All right, so reading a story like the Odyssey helps us build empathy, helps us build understanding, and it helps us recognize that even though despite the thousands of years between our lives and Odysseus's lives and all the differences between us, it helps us make a connection with our common humanity. So empathy is the feeling of or the action of putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Allowing yourself to imagine how you would feel in someone else's situation. This is an incredibly important skill for everyone to develop, and this is one of the reasons why we tell stories in the first place. But as we read the Odyssey and really think about Odysseus' situation, we're developing empathy. And it's also helping us release our emotions. Right now, a lot of us probably have complicated emotions and we need a type of release, a catharsis. And this story provides a place for us to express and feel our emotions safely. So for this week, I want you to create a message in a bottle. Now, I'm keeping this assignment really broad, which probably will frustrate a lot of you, but bear with me, because I want you to be able to create something that's meaningful to you, okay? So we're working with the metaphor of a message in a bottle. Oh, look, here's a bottle that I have. How nice. So a message in a bottle is a symbol of hope in a hopeless situation. So when a person puts down something that they must get across, that they have no real way of communicating, they put it in a bottle and they send it out and hope that someone else will read it. So what you're going to do is you're going to craft a message to someone or something that feels distant to you. And it's okay if they never get this message. You don't have to actually, if you would do something for your grandma, it would be really sweet to give it to her, but I'm not going to force you to call your grandma. We'll call your grandma. So you're going to craft a message to somebody or something that feels distant. It's okay if your intended audience never gets the message. Your message can take many forms. So you don't actually have to take a bottle and put a letter in it, although that would be kind of cool. You could do that. You just have to figure out how to attach it to Google Classroom for me to see what you've done. But it could be a letter, a poem, a drawing, a collage, a video, a song. So let's say you haven't been able to see your cousins for months because of the pandemic. It could be a letter that you would write to your cousins, or maybe you find some pictures of you and your cousins together and it's just a little note of how these times made you feel and how you wish you guys could be together now. I want to leave this open because when I was reading your letters, I was just struck by how many of you are so talented in different areas. I know some of you are musicians, some of you are artists, some of you are actors. So you can figure out what way you would really get excited about sending a message. It could even be a vlog, a little video message that you make. That was 5 minutes. I was trying to keep myself to 5 minutes and I failed. Close though. All right, so I want you to pick a point of view. You can do this as yourself. So you can do this assignment as okay, here's what I'm feeling distant from and here's the message I want to send, okay? And I would that's kind of my main idea, but I know for some of you guys that might be too much, right? So if you don't want to do this as yourself, you can pretend that you're Odysseus, that you're his wife Penelope, or that you are Telemachus, his son. All right, so if you want to be Odysseus for this assignment, then what you can do is put yourself in Odysseus' shoes, pretend that you've been trapped on an island for 7 years, and send a letter home. Now, this letter could take the form of an actual letter, a drawing, a comic strip, a video, a song. What do you think Odysseus wants to say to his family if he could? You could also imagine that you're Penelope or Telemachus and someone in your family has been gone for 19 years. What would you want to say to them if they could? If you could. Remember, it doesn't have to actually be a letter. It can be any medium that feels good to you. And then the last option is for you to do it as yourself. Think of something or someone quarantine has separated you from and send a message. So, what's someone or something you would like to talk to? And just thinking about like the current political climate and current news and all of that, I often find myself really wishing that I could speak to racist white people and just really like tell them how it is, tell them my feelings, like get them to change their minds. And so mine could be like a message to people who are defending, racist actions, who have racist thoughts. I hope you don't hear my family shouting in the background. I'm so sorry. But so it can be something as broad as that. Another thought that I had was like writing a message to myself as a first year teacher and being like, hey, in 12 years, you're going to be teaching from your house on the computer because there's a pandemic, Anyway, so I've probably frustrated you guys, okay? This isn't supposed to be a hard assignment because there are so many things you can do, but that kind of makes it hard and that I've left it so open. But the main point of this is to express your emotions and let your feelings flow. I want this assignment to be a kind of outlet, a way for you to let go of some of the things that might be holding you back, if that makes sense. We'll see. It's an experiment. Who knows? All right, so that was my long instruction video. This last slide has the requirements. Yep, you really can do like almost anything you can send into me on Google Classroom, you can do, right? Please don't stress yourself out over this. I want it to be something that you enjoy in some way. We'll see. All right, that's it. Now I just have to figure out how to stop the video, which I never can.